talks with Russia, yet it may be argued that still preoccupied with gathering strength, Russian state would not be able to stand in the way of such plans. Cooperation between Poland, Ukraine and Romania would create a favorable position for the power projection by American and North European allies in case it was needed in the south and southeast. It does not seem impossible to imagine a bridge composed of British, Norwegian, Danish, Polish and Ukrainian elements linking the Atlantic with the Black Sea and farther on through Georgia and Azerbaijan with the Caspian Sea. In a project thus outlined, Poland and Ukraine would both become sub-regionally crucial participants in a larger strategic construct. The perspective of such participation, even if only in due time, could give the necessary support for the pro-Western politicians in the Ukraine, support that is much needed when building an alternative for the dominating Russian influence in their own country. The possible future to draw NATO into active political engagement in the region of the Greater Middle East may bring an end to the significance of the pact and subsequently a policy evaluation in the United States, with Washington unilaterally seeking agreement opportunities with a global scope. With such turnout, it seems probable that groundwork would be laid out for the network of bilateral agreements initiated by Washington with the aim of establishing the missile defense system with global range. Japan, Australia, several European states, including Poland, might offer their territories to host the system. With a significant degree of probability, it may be anticipated that apart from Poland, the participating countries would include, among others, Romania, Bulgaria and Turkey. It would be in the interest of Poland to convince Washington to incorporate Ukraine in the system. Hopefully, this time no one in Kiev will be tempted to make money on the secretly sold Kolchugas. One way or the other, Poland should see as its strategic goal being in a defensive alliance together with Ukraine and the United States. Apart from everything else, membership in a given organization often further make easier bilateral relations. Brussels, as I mentioned, is not considering Ukraine for membership in the EU. Leaving it out of the Union is not the Polish interest. A means of establishing special provisions for the cooperation between the EU and Kiev might be designing and implementing the details of a new initiative, for example, Southeastern Dimension modeled on the Northern Dimension being presently realized by the European Commission, encompassing the Northern European and the Baltic region. Just as the latter was initiated by the Finns seeking assistance in the difficult relations with Russia, the new initiative originated by Poland and Romania in the southeast might bring Ukraine and the Caucasus closer to the European Union. Assuring consent for this project within the Union institutions will not be easy, and it will become even harder once the financial details need to be decided on. Nevertheless, a perspective offering independent active presence for the EU in parallel to the Americans in the region of the Black and the Caspian Sea might convince the EU net contributors to participate in this political and economic initiative. Work being undertaken in parallel within the EU along with the political and military framework of the alliance with the United States may convince the politicians in Kiev to discard the policy of appeasement towards the Russian Federation. The above plans hold no guarantee of success, yet abandoning them will, with near certainty, guarantee that in 10 years Ukraine will sign a new Peresov agreement with Moscow, which by that time will be well advanced on the path of regaining its power. I was asked to give a vision of the future. I let myself to detach it from the present-day relations between Poland and Ukraine. I did so only because I do not see their present shape leading to anything significantly advantageous. Their lack of strategic vision, with the domination of petty trade-offs taking from one side conceding to a cemetery in return for a monument, a pipeline in return for